What is going on YouTube? Hitting back making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video, we're going to be looking at Litecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum, as well as XRP to US dollar. We're also going to be looking at DueDEX as well as the current coin market cap. Specifically in today's episode, I thought it would be interesting to spend quite a bit of time discussing the very odd move that is happening right now within the cryptocurrency. As you guys can see for reference, Bitcoin is actually moving back up to retest its top resistance. But as this is happening, other coins like Litecoin are actually breaking out of its bearish downtrend as we discussed yesterday, and we're slowly starting to approach some very interesting levels. This one is currently the middle moving average. Ethereum actually managed to break above its what I thought was a resistance and is now currently heading even higher up, which is odd. And the same thing goes with XRP, as we are currently retesting the resistance once again. So there's definitely going to be some very interesting discussions in today's video. Definitely make sure to stick around till the end, and if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up. This way it helps out the YouTube algorithm. Follow me on Twitter at CryptoVOfficial. This way, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can just head on over there, DM me, and I'll answer some questions, or we can spark up a conversation. Otherwise, let's jump into today's episode. Alright, so as you guys can see, I have the current YouTube channel pulled up, and if I just scroll down ever so slightly, you can notice that I made a video yesterday which was in reference to 8 days left for XRP, Ripple, and Bitcoin. So as you can clearly see in the thumbnail, what was figured out and discussed was that there was just a little bit more room for the gap to be filled within Bitcoin and some of the other cryptocurrencies, and then ultimately hitting that top resistance and falling lower. Now that is still viable, and that is still something that I consider is going to happen, and I would like to once again reassess and reevaluate the situation and figure out whether or not this is going to continue to stay, or if we have veered off track. Now, as you guys can see, the top 10 cryptos, I believe I've refreshed this. I'll do it again just in case. Yes. Top 10 cryptos, everything seems okay. It's really just like Ethereum and Litecoin that are really making waves. Bitcoin is only up 1.4, but Ethereum is up 7, Litecoin is up 4.6, Cardano is up 10%. So there are definitely some cryptocurrencies that are doing some catching up, but for the most part, the market is really not seeing much of a movement. Yes, we are on an uptrend as expected, as anticipated, as we explained, but I don't think we're really going to go much higher. And I know for those of you that just look at the market, they're going to think, oh wow, maybe he was wrong, maybe it's time to buy in. I mean, for all I know, I could definitely be wrong, but I want to just show you my point of view here. So yes, let's start with the bottom. We have not yet had the bullish cross on the MACD. That is a no. We are currently trading at 57 on the RSI, but more importantly, we are hitting our resistance. So we have a downtrend clearly shown here, and we are currently hitting this numerous times. It has happened over and over again. So just because we aren't climbing back down just yet doesn't mean we aren't going to do so anymore. We are hitting an extremely strong resistance that has been on Bitcoin for 3 years, and that doesn't come lightly. That doesn't mean we're just going to break out of it that easily. So yes, we are currently up here retesting and battling this resistance here, but I truly do not think it's going to last, and I truly am anticipating a reversal very soon, if not today, tomorrow, or the next day, where we fall all the way back down to potentially $9,000, and then fill the gap in this situation here. Now, if I just show you the 4 hour. I mean, the 4 hour does help, don't get me wrong. You can clearly see what the problem is. We're clearly battling this resistance once again, and it's holding very well. And there's a good chance it is going to, climb back down lower. But I wanted to show you the weekly for everyone that is new to the channel. This is what I'm referencing. This is the big dog. We've said this over and over and over again. I'm going to readdress this situation. There's a clear uptrend pushing us to the upside. Now notice, with this uptrend, I mean, we could scale it out if you really wanted to. We could have this one right here. Boom. We could have this one right here. I mean, this one looks more like like this than anything, but I'll leave it like this. So this has an uptrend clearly as it gets to the top. So look, this is very similar, these 2 points here, in references to we've hit the resistance before the uptrend sandwiched us in. So notice back here, we slowly veered away from the uptrend, hit the resistance, fell back down, and then filled it in. Same thing is applying here. We slowly moved up, we veered away from the support right here. I meant to call this a support. We hit the resistance, we fell back down to support, and now we are slowly going to fill the gap. So it's very similar, just with a smaller price range, but once we extend away from it, hit the resistance, we then fall back down to regain support and fill the gap and then anticipate the drop. The same thing is happening, and we're much closer this time around than before. There's a very good chance this is going to be the end of it, as we are slowly filling the gap. You can clearly see it. We were trading, we veered away from it, hit resistance, fell back down, gained support, and now we are basically filling the gap as we speak. And honestly, it looks like there might be, one candle left that could fit here, at most a week, if that. We have one candle left, so it's definitely going to be next week, I think, where we're going to figure out which direction we're going to be going. It's very easy short term for us to hit $9,000, and much easier for us to drop to 77, if not fall all the way down to about $5,700. Both of these are a possibility, and they are both here for us to figure out and discuss. Now, I just want to shout out everybody on my Patreon. I think we have now over 110 patrons, which is absolutely insane. I'm pulling it up right now as we speak. But yeah, I believe Patreon is now 111. So that is absolutely insane. Huge shout out to everybody supporting me on my Patreon. You know who you are. For those of you that don't know what Patreon is, they're new to the channel. Basically, my Patreon is my support group. I built a community of literally now 111 people that are diehard cryptocurrency investors. They want to learn. They're beginner, they're novices, or they're just interested in learning how to trade cryptocurrency. All of that is in the description down below. The link to Patreon is in the description down below. Basically, I post all my stop losses, shorts, trades, leverage trades, buying in longs, limit orders, every market orders, everything you could possibly think of. We use risk management and things like that. So if you guys are interested in seeing my trade specifically and what I'm going to do as we approach this gap, potentially expecting to short, definitely make sure to sign up over there. Now, to continue on in this video, a good chance we're probably going to hit this top resistance as we're doing, and then we're probably going to get rejected off there and start to climb lower. So anticipate a correction to the downside. Other cryptocurrencies are something I want to talk about too. Now, Litecoin, we know, broke out of its resistance. There was a very small resistance here. You can see I just drew it out very slightly, but ultimately what's great is even though we broke this, we're hitting the middle moving average, which is extremely it's a good sign, but there's a ton of resistance wrapped around this middle moving average. So the fact that we're hitting this at the same time Bitcoin's hitting its resistance is a signal this is probably not going to hold, and this is a sign of rejection and a correction to the downside. Now apply that to some other cryptocurrencies. Let's look at XRP. XRP has finally gained the balls to grow up with some volume and manage to retest its middle moving average. Its moving average, very similar to Litecoin. Litecoin hit its resistance, its moving average. XRP is hitting its resistance, its moving average. It has a downtrend and the moving average. They are all extremely bearish signs. I mean, we are now actually just starting to see a bullish cross, which is interesting. But this might not hold at all. I'd be shocked if we break through and just explode. That was definitely something that could happen, but fairly unlikely. More so, the correction, the consolidation in XRP, the consolidation in Bitcoin and Litecoin is what I'm anticipating. And lastly, for Ethereum, and then we'll look at DueDEX. Ethereum is actually breaking out slightly. I mean, it's very hard to track Ethereum. I don't really do a good job with it. I don't feel like it's a coin I trade around with often. Let's just give this a little bit of a better view now. So let's see. I mean, ultimately, yeah, Ethereum probably looks the most bullish out of all the other cryptocurrencies on its weekly. As you can clearly see, it was battling its middle moving average on the weekly charts and it finally broke bullish outside of there. Now it's just filling in the gap. It's got all this room to play around with inside the middle moving average. It could honestly shoot up all the way to 280. Unlikely, yes, but still definitely a possibility. Let's see. When we look at other cryptocurrencies, we know that the weekly is extremely undervalued. Yes, for XRP. Huge gap. It needs to get all the way up to here, 32 cents, and then it could go as high as 67, but it needs to fill in here. That's if we break bullish. There's a target at 32 cents. So consider that. And then let's look at some of the other cryptocurrencies before we wrap up today's video. We'll look at Ethereum. Let's see Ethereum on its weekly is doing the same exact thing. No, we just looked at this. What am I talking about? Sorry. Let's look at Bitcoin. On its weekly is now above its middle moving average. So that's another bearish sign that we are slightly too high, needing to come back down, consolidate down to 7,600. Consider that. And then the last coin, Litecoin, let's see where that is in relevance to its middle moving average. It is below it. Yes, it is also below it. So there's definitely a huge chance, very easily, this coin could shoot all the way up to $60 and put $15 on the coin if it can break bullish from here. The only thing that's keeping this coin from heading up higher, unless it wants to act, indifferent from Bitcoin, Bitcoin has a resistance here. Bitcoin wants to pull down lower. But consider that, guys. Definitely make sure to check out DueDEX as well. DueDEX is a great website that I use to trade long, buy short, sell short, buy and long, leverage trade, stop loss, everything you can freaking imagine. It's the most beginner and easy friendly website that they have. And it's what we've been shorting Bitcoin on and making a crap ton of money. There's a link in the description to DueDEX as well. So if you wanted, take advantage of the free $70 sign up bonus they have. And definitely make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, follow me on Twitter, CryptoVOfficial, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Peace.